Okay. And of course, right as I start, I notice a smudge on my glasses. How dare thee! Perfect. Greetings, weary travelers, and welcome to the Reaction Sleepover. This is the series where we get cozy and we react to stuff. Today we're doing more stories of Am I the A-hole? We shall read these stories of potential turd buckets and try to encourage some empathy and communication, and as always, cope with humor. We have a big batch today, so thank you to the OPs for allowing me to read their stories. If you have a story you'd like to share, you can either email me or go to the description and go to the link to the Google form. I almost forgot how to say Google form. So grab your cozies and snackies and let's head on into it. Am I the a-hole for telling my fiance my daughter has to be in our wedding? I, 45 male, have a daughter, P, from a previous relationship. I divorced my ex-wife on good terms and we share 50-50 custody of P. She is now 11. After I divorced my ex-wife, I met my now fiance, S. S and my daughter got along very well. After 5 years in my relationship with S, I proposed. Yay!
Oh yeah? Watch this!
S was super excited and wanted to start planning right away. She looked at venues and started asking her friends to be her bridesmaids. Naturally. She then told me she wanted her niece to be a flower girl, which I had no problem with, but I also wanted P to be a flower girl. S looked at me funny and then said that she didn't think that P would fit the part. Okay. See, in these, I try to understand where everyone's coming from, right? That's what we try to do. We try to encourage empathy, because empathy is the key. We're trying to understand why she feels that way, like she doesn't fit the part. I mean, what exactly doesn't she fit, though? She's also going to be your stepdaughter, so I don't know if it's a great idea to leave her out of it. Just a thought! Even when people are acting like turds, or when they're being weird, like, I want to understand where they come from, right? But, like, how would you come to that conclusion about your future stepdaughter? I feel like if you want to be on the right foot, you include her. And it sounds like she's young. Oh, she's 11, so she's not that young. But, like, she's fully aware of what's happening. I just don't give her a reason to not like you. And I personally don't see a reason why to not include her. It feels like such a weird bridge to burn. I got angry and told S that my daughter would be in our wedding. S started to become upset and said the girls in the wedding were up to her and P wouldn't be one of them. Why though? Assuming OP just hasn't included it for some reason, S just hasn't given a reason for why not. She's just saying no for no reason. I'm so confused. It's like, yes, it's her wedding and like she should do what she wants, but like at the same time, why are you so adamant on your future daughter-in-law? Daughter-in-law? No, wrong one. Why are you so adamant on your future stepdaughter not being in it? Homeschool it. Homeschool. I told S that if P wasn't in the wedding, then there might not be a wedding. Ultimatum! I stormed out and took P to get ice cream. He's like, I need to cool off too. Give me that ice cream. They're sitting in the ice cream shop. P is like, Dad, are you okay? And he's like, I'm fine. I'm fine. P knows we were getting married. I'd hope so. And told me she thinks she will look pretty whatever dress S decides she should wear. This broke my heart and I decided to text S. She's even being a really good sport about it. And it's like, man, we're trying to understand all parties because we try to do that here, even through the pain. Yes, she should do what she wants during the wedding, but it's also not only her wedding. I feel like people can lose sight of that when they're very fixated on their big day. They just like, they only want to make it about them. And it's like, first of all, in this situation, you're marrying into an already established family. Like, it's just them two, sure, but that's still a family. And like, you should factor that in. And then even when it's like the more traditional, like the two couple gets together before they have a family, because both are valid, it's still your partner's wedding day too. And I don't understand why a person wouldn't want to factor that in. It's like, if you really care about them, you wouldn't discard what they want. And you know, the common trope is that guys don't typically have input, right? Like, that's the common joke. But like, if they do, like, don't disregard that, especially when it involves your future stepdaughter. And this girl's 11. Like, she's fully, like, kids are smart. Like, they understand what's going on. I'm sure that P, like, can to at least some degree see what's going on. And you know, that poor thing, like, if she understands at all what's going on, she's just like, why doesn't she want me? Like, why would you want to even take the chance to do that? Like, do you want her to hate you? I can just so see that as Like, if you're really that adamant on not wanting her in the wedding, that would probably hurt her feelings. And why would you want to hurt her feelings? Even if there's a reason why, like, it makes sense for her to not want her in the wedding, I don't know. I'm trying to see it because empathy. But even then, it's like the bridge you have to burn to, like, truly, like, not have her in the wedding, both with her and your future husband. I don't know if that's worth it, man. Being in that position, I would want to do everything I could to be on good terms with both of them. I told her I would be staying at a friend's to think this over. My mother-in-law texted me saying I am overreacting and that my daughter doesn't have to be in my wedding. That sentence is so sad though. Why? There's gotta, like, what is your reasoning for not wanting her in the wedding? Because I'd like to think whenever it comes to, like, someone being an a-hole, whatever, I like to think that it's miscommunication and, unfortunately, like, insecurity coming out, right? And by reading these stories and talking about things like this, we try to understand that, like, there's probably a reason why they're acting this way, why the insecurity is taking over and they can't be secure in themselves or with their relationships. And we can understand that there's a reason for it. That doesn't mean we excuse it. Be very clear right now. But it's like, clearly, both her and the mother-in-law think they are in the right for not including the daughter, and it seems like it's because of the fixation of, like, it's my day, and it's like, fam, I get that, but in pursuit of that you are disregarding everyone else, and that's so rude. And if you truly think you aren't in the wrong, please just consider the other's perspective, because if more of that was going on in, like, this situation and beyond, if people on all sides could try to understand where other people are coming from, generally speaking, right? Like, there are some things where, like, people are truly in the wrong, right? But it can still be useful to try to understand, like, why are they acting the way they're acting? Because they are clearly not acting in their best selves. And again, we're not using that to excuse the behavior, but we can use that to humanize them and understand why they're acting the way they're acting, and then act accordingly. Be like, hey, I don't understand why you're acting this way, but this is not fair to me, and I need you to understand where I'm coming from, which he's trying to do. At least it seems like it, you know? I'm gonna finish the sentence now. And that I was an A for saying that I would cancel. So did I take it too far for saying I will cancel? Am I overreacting or just being a good dad? I don't see why it's so hard to want your own daughter in your wedding, because this is his wedding too. And if this is something she really truly will not budge on when it's, like, important to him too, because it's not like they should only do what she wants, they shouldn't only do what he wants. What it should be is figuring out what you want to do together as a couple, as a unit, and be united. And if it's like, if this alone is already showing that she's not willing to be united with him in any way, and not willing to compromise in any way, is it really even that wrong for him to say that he will maybe cancel? Because it's like, it just shows that if she's gonna be this, like, against him in this matter, imagine other things where she won't be unified with him and that she'll just fight him. Do you really want to spend your life with someone like that when they're that insecure that they are just refusing to understand your side of it? It sounds like mother-in-law isn't helping either. But yeah, if she's gonna be this, like, against you in this, like, small matter, I don't know if she's ever gonna be on your side. So honestly, like, with all that said, I don't think he's that unwarranted for saying that he will cancel, because, like, it's his daughter. The person that S is choosing to be part of. And if you're gonna choose to be part of this family, you need to commit to it. And there's an update, my dudes. Hey Reddit, thanks everyone for the kind words and suggestions. To answer a few questions, my daughter is not disabled, chubby, or having an awkward phase, braces/glasses. Even if any of that was true, those should not matter. At all. People who are fixated on, like, the aesthetic, it's like, yeah, I want to understand that you want your perfect day and that you want things to look nice, but outward appearance is not all that matters. In my opinion, what really matters is, like, how happy is everyone, including you. Sure, like, your happiness does matter, my guy, but, like, again, that pursuit of trying to make it picture perfect and burning bridges to achieve that, you're gonna be all alone on the other island. I would not suggest burning the bridge. It's just, things like that are just not worth ruining your relationships over. I did ask if P could be a groomsman. S immediately shot me down. Why? That's such a cute idea. Can you imagine her in a little suit? And, like, the immediate shooting down, it just comes across as she only cares about how perfect everything looks, and unfortunately, in her mind, that doesn't include the daughter, which is just so sad. If you want to be part of this family, act like it. And that really just ties into, like, that's a big red flag. Like, come on. S is 39, she's the same race as my daughter, this is her first marriage. I tried to answer as many comments as possible. I came home to talk to S today. When I pulled in our driveway, my mother-in-law was sitting there in her car. I was waiting for you. Let's have a chat. She brings out Russian roulette. You're like, oh. I got out and went inside, trying to avoid talking to mother-in-law. S was sitting at the kitchen table and I joined her. She sat in silence, so I asked the first question. Why does P not fit the part, and why don't you want her in the wedding at all? Her answer full-on shocked me. Brace yourselves. She quietly said, I was hoping that after the wedding, you could become a holiday visit only dad. What? Like only visiting you? Wait, no. You want to lessen his presence in his daughter's life? Not today, homeskele. Wow, the insecurity is overwhelming. Because you... Wow. Girl. Huh? You really expect him to be negligent? When he clearly cares very much about his daughter? That's horrible. Therapy, I say. I didn't want her in the wedding so she wouldn't be in the photos around the house since she wasn't going to be around much. When your benefit of the doubt fails you. And it's not really the benefit of the doubt that she had a good reason, because I just really didn't see how there could have been a good reason for her to not want her in the wedding. But more so the benefit of the doubt of, like, anyone who acts like this is clearly not acting in their best selves, not their best versions of themselves. And so it's like, if your insecurity is this overwhelming that, like, this to me seems like jealousy of the daughter because she wants all of OP's attention, she clearly has some struggles she needs to work through. I suggest in therapy, like truly, like please go get therapy and like benefit of the doubt to explain that and get vulnerable with OP. And she did not live up to that. Like, wow. Insecurity makes you do wild things. This is not the explanation, nor the entire behavior of a secure person. I kept my cool, calmly took her hand, and pulled my engagement ring off. Good guy. Like, not even putting up with the behavior at all. Because that's absolutely what you should do in this moment. It's like, okay, you're clearly not ready to be married, let alone in a committed relationship. Because if you're really going to be jealous of my daughter for my attention, and you don't see anything wrong with that, then oh my goodness, please go to therapy. And I love that way of handling it, of just like, I'm just not even gonna put up with this. Like, this relationship is over because you're not being an adult. Sorry. Hope you can figure that out. Goodness gracious. Her eyes started to tear up. She said we shouldn't end this marriage over this and that she can change. I mean, I hope you can heal and grow, but it ain't gonna be with me. I told her the damage was already done. I told her I wanted her things moved out by next week and that she should come get them when my daughter wasn't home. The house is in my name and I paid for it. I was allowing her to get her furniture that she paid for. I love the way OP handles this. I'm so proud of you. Because, like, you're not putting up with this, but you're doing it in such a kind way. She stormed out and mother-in-law came knocking. I forgot she was there. Boo! Saying I was being unreasonable. Girl, how? I couldn't imagine only seeing my daughter 3 or 4 times a year. The fact that S wanted me to give up part of my custody blew me away. Especially when someone's like clearly in their kid's life and they want to be actively in their life and you want them to stop that for you? How do you even get to a point where that's like a valid, reasonable thing to ask? To demand, really. Seriously, your insecurity's gotta be through the roof at that point. No emotionally secure person does this. I'm sitting on my couch just in shock. Me too. Because I'm trying, try to understand why a person could be acting like this. It's just hard to picture, because clearly something's going on where she feels like she has to be like this to obtain a secure relationship. And that's very unfortunate that she can't, trust her partner that much. Girl's got some, attachment issues that I really do hope she figures out, because you can't treat other people like that. You cannot marry into a family and then expect that family to like not be a thing. Guy, no. No, girl, no. Our honeymoon was supposed to be in Hawaii. Looks like me and P will be going instead. Yay! Good. I will update again if anything happens. No, again, I am very proud of you for the way you handled this, because you never like blew up at her. You never said anything that wasn't fair. You just went, this relationship's over because you are not mature enough for this relationship at all. And I hope you do change and that you grow and that whoever you end up next will be, that you'll be ready for that. But that ain't gonna be with me. Goodbye. So, not the a-hole. Because he wasn't an a-hole in any sense of the word in this story. He was always trying to be communicative and like never blew up at her and set and upholded his boundaries. Like everything, yeah. Prime example of what you should do is like, I don't have to put up with this.